Hello food fans, going to have beef, ground beef. This ground beef, these are already made into patties, 4 different quarter-pound patties, and the total price for 4 quarter-pounders, $1.25 each, $5 for the package. And I will not have hamburger buns with them when I eat them. I'm going to eat 2 of these right now and make ground beef sandwiches because they did not have hamburger buns at Aldi's when I shopped yesterday, but I do have some whole wheat bread that is quite tasty that I will use with this. I'll also have some fried potatoes and my specialty, the salad with the tomatoes, cabbage, carrots, mayonnaise and relish and ketchup. I'm going to have that. And the total cost of this meal, the best I can judge it, $3.73, so under $4 for a nice lunch. And the lowest price lunches are the ones you cook for yourself at home. So let's get started. I like my hamburger well done, ground beef well done, and they are getting that way, the 2 quarter-pound patties, plus I've got the potatoes in there frying. I will let it cook for just a little bit longer. I have turned off the heat. I'll let it continue to cook in the cast iron skillet for a little bit, and then we shall consume this delicious meal of quarter-pounders. The pictures on the wall, the one on the left was when I was 17. Picture taken of me by Amos Carr, A-M-O-S-C-A-R-R, Amos Carr, famous Hollywood photographer. I didn't know he was famous until years later. And the other is a drawing on the right, a drawing by Andy Dew, and that is the way I looked during the Dear John years, 1988 to 1992. And here we are looking at a couple of ground beef patties. I think these were 80% lean, 20% fat. A lot of fat there, but fat gives it flavor. I'll mix up my salad here. This is tomatoes, relish, ketchup, cabbage, carrots, and what am I missing here? Cabbage, carrots, tomatoes, and then ketchup and mayonnaise and relish, and I mix this all up and have a healthy salad almost every day. And I hope all is going well for you so far this year. This is New Year 2023. Let me taste the salad. Got some things I'll be talking about show business wise here in a minute. The salad is delicious. And I'll reach over here and hopefully without knocking anything over get whole wheat bread. This whole wheat bread costs $2.09, which is a low price these days with all the inflation. $2.09 for the loaf. And I think there's 13 slices of bread. Whatever it is, it's a pretty good bargain, and it's lower priced than most of the hot dog and hamburger buns, and supposedly it would be more healthful because it is whole grain, so I'm assuming it has a high content of fiber. I don't know that, I didn't look. By the way, the pan here is hot, the pan with the ground beef in it, so parents, keep the kids away from the stove, 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 kids away from the stove, kids away Salad always tastes good. Now I will put one of the hamburger patties, ground beef patties, onto the bread. And it does seem that there are some items that are hard to find these days in the supermarket. Some shelves are empty. And yesterday the hamburger buns were unavailable at Aldi. But I'm sure this will taste very good. I'm going to put a dill pickle, slice of dill pickle, on the first ground beef sandwich. Right over here. That's a big dill pickle. And I will put some mustard on there. Instead of ketchup, I'll have mustard on this one. Let's see how this goes. There we go. Getting good mustard touches there. And I will put some relish on, because relish and mustard go together very good. So does ketchup and relish. So put that on there. Some of the foods were low price. For example, the potatoes that I'm using today I bought for $2.99 for a 5-pound bag. So 1/10 of that would be 30 cents. And I'm not using even 1/10 of that bag of potatoes. Let me put this on top of this. And it's still warm, but not too warm. It's a ground beef sandwich, also known as a hamburger. And I did fry some onions with the potatoes and the ground beef. I found a document here. This goes back to 1982. This is a check stub from Central Casting. And I worked on Airplane 2, Airplane II it says here. My base pay, I was a movie extra, and I was upgraded on Airplane 2 to what is known as a silent bit. I did 2 actual silent bits on the same day. And the pay was very good. It was the base rate of pay for the extras on that day, $79.50. Then I got an adjustment for $54. That means I was upgraded in the scene, so I got an extra $54. I got $12.52 overtime. And the total for that day's pay was $146.02. And let's see, what did they take out? They deducted federal taxes, state taxes, city taxes, pension. But it was a very good day for me. And I enjoyed working that show. Airplane 2 was a fun show to work. It had fun people in the director's chair. I think there were like 2 or 3 people directing it. And a lot of what you see in Airplane 2, they made up on the spot. It wasn't in the script. They just decided to do it. Weather's very nice today here in Tennessee. It's supposed to rain later tonight, maybe some storms. The hamburger is very good. Here's the sheet of paper where I figured out about how much the meal cost. Let me see what we got here. Bread was 13 cents worth of bread. Maybe it's 26 cents. I don't know if I figured for one bread sandwich or not. But bread, I've got 13 cents. And what is this? Salad, 50 cents, although I didn't really spend that much on it. I got tomatoes at Aldi yesterday for 99 cents a pound, Roma tomatoes. The ground beef is really good tasting. The beef was $1.25 per patty, or $2.50 for the 2 patties. The potatoes 30 cents. Beverage 30 cents. It comes out to $3.73. But I also have a secret dessert, and that's going to add about 22 cents. This is good. Let me get some potatoes. Potatoes are good. Potatoes are probably the best, very low cost meal that you can have. They can be fixed in a lot of different cooking recipes. And if you buy potatoes in a 5 or 10 pound bag, you get a real bargain price. Depends on how many people you're cooking for. If you're cooking for 1 or 2, it's not my desire to go out and buy a 5 pound bag of potatoes, because there's always more potatoes than I eat per week. Good. Talk a little bit about some dates and things I did. In 1980, I moved from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, to Hollywood actually. And I started working as an extra in Los Angeles. I had been working as an extra in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, I was lucky if I got 1 or 2 days a month. Los Angeles, I came armed with a pretty good wardrobe to start with, and I added to it and kept getting more and more wardrobe, things that would get me work, like a police uniform, priest collar, Western clothes. Someone let me know, several people let me know that root beer does not have caffeine. So if it says it's decaffeinated, it's not really raising any big argument, I don't think. Root beer. I don't want the sugar-free. This is probably a pretty healthy meal. The hamburger is very thick. And I'm using bread that is not toasted. I worked as an extra in Hollywood productions until 1988. Actually, I continued to work as an extra after that, but 1988 I became a cast member of Dear John, the TV series. So for the 4-year run of Dear John, I did not work as an extra. But when Dear John came to an end, I began working as an extra and a commercial actor. Working commercials paid big money, and it's the odds are against a person who is an actor who goes on any audition for a commercial. The commercial casting people have already chosen about 30 people that they're going to look at, and they've gone through hundreds of pictures. You really have to work hard to get cast in a commercial. I always found I had better luck at auditions when I chatted, when I talked with the casting director. Sometimes the casting directors would just say, state your name, profile, agent's name, and we'd say, read your sides, and you're gone. You never get to know them. There's no conversation. But if the casting director is in a good mood and you can have a nice conversation, talk about the weather, talk about the traffic, talk about your new puppy, whatever. Good hamburger. Good potatoes. In 1997, I worked a show called George and Leo. It didn't last very long in the ratings, but it lasted for a few months, or a couple of months in 1997, and then it was shown again, rerun in 1998. And those two broadcasts of George and Leo helped me to get my 10 years qualifying for the Screen Actors Guild pension. If you can get into the union, do it if you want to be an actor.
talk to people anywhere where there is a show, a live show going on. Just talk to people. Some of the people in the audience might be producers, might be directors looking for someone to fill a spot in their next TV episode. When you perform, perform for the audience. I always stayed clear of songwriters' night. Some songwriters take themselves a little bit too seriously, in my opinion. Most of the time, I sang what would now be called cover songs. Did Chuck Berry songs, Elvis songs, Jerry Lee Lewis songs, Little Richard songs. Who's your favorite songwriter? I'd have a hard time narrowing it down to one or two. There are several writing teams that I like Jay Livingston, Ray Evans. They won a couple, at least 2 Academy Awards. I'm not sure how many Academy Awards they actually won. They wrote a lot of songs for Paramount Pictures. And Jay Livingston and Ray Evans, I know they received an Academy Award for Mona Lisa. They wrote Silver Bells. They wrote the Bonanza theme. They wrote To Each His Own. I like the songs that the Eagles wrote. I like the songs of Jerry Lieber, Mike Stoller. They really wrote some big rock and roll hits early in the rock and roll era. They wrote Hound Dog, Kansas City. They wrote Paisley's song, Is That All There Is? Songwriting is not easy. I've been writing some songs with a friend of mine here in the Nashville area. He has common sense, and we write well together as a team, I think. If I were to do a show, would you come see it? There's a possibility that I could work in a show sometime in April in the Nashville area. And then maybe again in June. Potatoes. One more burger. If I do a show in April, I'll try to get a couple of months' notice in advance. Another hamburger, but first, bread over here, and have some root beer. I found that when I go on auditions, something that helps me, I might have mentioned this before. Let me get some salad here. If I'm reading a script, there's a salad. Ketchup. Ketchup on the hamburger. Relish. Relish on the hamburger. When I'm reading the sides, reading the script, always a person going on an audition has 15 minutes or so to get ready. Whatever your call time is, like your call is 10 a.m., you get there at 10 a.m., the sides, the script will be there for you to study, take a look at, and imagine how you would do it in the character that they are looking for. And it'll take them at least 15 minutes from your call time until they call your name to hear you read your script. What I do that's different from what most actors do, I look at the script, and let's say it's me doing the Gettysburg Address. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. That's basically how the script goes. Now, suppose when I'm doing the script for the casting director, I put my emphasis on different words, like using the first word and emphasizing the first word. 70 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation. And then try it with the second word, emphasize 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this. 7 years ago. 7 years ago. Change the emphasis on different words and see which one sounds most impressive. Potatoes. If you're writing a song, avoid cliches. Don't say, "You're the apple of my eye." And don't have cliched storylines like, "I've got a million tears as I stand here by the jukebox. I'm drinking beer and thinking of you." Use words that have never been used before in a song. There's a song that has the word banish, B-A-N-I-S-H. And it's so refreshing to have that word just pops up. Banish, and then the next part of the line is, "All those tears and please don't cry." Be daring when you write a song, and be willing to change a word or two here and there. Listen to it a day later, a week later, make some changes. More salad. I am so lucky to be my age. I've seen a lot of good stuff. I've eaten good food, good meals. I'll eat the rest of this hamburger, this ground beef sandwich, after I have dessert. The reason being I don't want to make the video too long, but time for the dessert, which is coming in about 23 cents, 22, 23 cents. This is pudding, a pudding cup. Aldi has low prices on pudding cups if they happen to have them in stock. And this is vanilla flavor. I haven't seen tapioca or butterscotch in a long time. Put this right here. Pudding. Pudding is good. This is a very, very good dessert. Thank you for coming over for a visit. Thank you for the nice conversation. And thank you for watching.